everyone, this is Amanda with A Touch of Whimsy by Amanda, coming to you on the Couture YouTube page. Today I'm going to show you a cute spring craft out of this vintage little gumball machine I got at the thrift store for $3. First, you're going to want to disassemble it. It's mostly all metal. The inside is some plastic parts though as well. This must have been like a giveaway from a bank. So after I got it all disassembled, I put all those spare parts in a designated area because I have learned that if I don't, I will misplace them. This had some writing on the globe, so I took some lacquer thinner and just took that off and then gave that globe a good clean with some glass Windex. This is a little figurine I picked up at the thrift store. It was a cute little couple on a swing. However, one of the flowers had broken off. So I'm going to try to repurpose this and put this inside the globe. So first of all, I took my glass nippers and tried to clip that tree off, which did not go very well. I was trying to save as much of the tree as possible because I didn't know exactly how I was going to mount it inside the globe. That's how it goes with miniatures. It's kind of just a play it by ear kind of thing because we live in the regular world, and in miniature world it just kind of works a little differently. So I clipped off the top of the trunk, and then it still had the base on it, so I had to go get some more tools. And this is where I just went ahead and whacked it off. And that worked just fine. So after I got it all undone, I took some gold wire and I'm going to replace the strings that it was hanging from. One of the strings was kind of frayed, so wire worked out better because I could get it through those little holes without driving my mind crazy. And then I went ahead and scuff sand that metal down to get some of that shine off of there with 220 foam pad and gave it a good coat of some bin primer. Then I took my Couture and Misty Forge and gave the whole metal base and top 2 coats. After getting 2 coats done, I did go ahead and seal it with a clear gloss as well. I decided that I wanted to add some twinkle lights because I love adding twinkle lights to everything. So I threaded the twinkle lights up through the center. And then I needed a base for my miniatures to sit on. So I took some cardboard and just traced around the bottom of the globe. And went ahead and cut that out. And then I took that piece and I took this, I got this placemat at Hobby Lobby, and this is just a section of it. I used it for a different project. So I flipped it over and traced around the back with a marker, and that's going to allow me to just cut through that burlap. And then when I'm cutting out these pieces, I am double checking to make sure it fits inside my globe and exactly, you know, how much overhang do I need and whatnot. And that's with miniatures, you always want to go back and forth. Now I was lucky that the inside of the parts were plastic, so I was able to drill a new hole. My idea was to actually add a new tree since the other one had broken. So I drilled through the plastic piece that laid on top, and then I added a dowel rod. And I glued that into place with some E6000. And then after I got it set, I gave, the outside of that mat was showing that burlap. So I took some Evergreen and Couture and camouflaged that edge. So I needed a heavier branch for my tree, so I took 5 pieces of floral wire and set that into the chuck of my drill and held it with one hand while holding the button down, and that's going to twist around itself and it's going to make a real strong wire. And here you can even hold it with wire holders if that's more comfortable for you. And then I took some epoxy clay. This is a 2-part epoxy. You want equal parts of A and B, and you do want to use your gloves when you're using this clay. And then you're going to mix that in your hands until it is a uniform color. This does come in several different colors, such as gray and I believe brown and white. So I didn't have a very good angle. Trying to film this miniatures are kind of tricky. So I'm going to wrap this clay and set that dowel rod in the middle of it. When I do clay work, it's always just about when my eye is happy with the end result. So I fiddle fart with it for a while, trying to make it into the tree. And then once I'm happy with it, I move on to the next part. I've added in my heavy branch at the top and kind of made it into like an L shape. And then I'll start working the clay over those wires that I just wrapped. And then here's the fun part of kind of texturizing it and trying to make it look like it has grain, the bark and whatnot. So I have a plethora of different clay tools. So I usually only use a few though. And then I took my swing and the wire, and I'm going to set the wires that I had already put on those inside that tree clay. So that means it's not going to move around. And then I'm going to kind of form that clay back over the wires. This is probably some of my favorite clay I work with. Once it's hardened, it's rock hard and it adheres to everything. And then I just started adding in some leaves that I'd bought, I believe at Michael's, just the in parts of the leaves into that top of that branch. And then when I have this clay, it seems like I always have extra, so I started making little rocks and pebbles and stones for their feet to set on and let those harden as well. And then I can't go a project without adding some metallic, so I'm going to gild this front plate gold. I took some Pinecone from Couture and went in between those leaves and started coloring that trunk that you could see. And this is after it has dried for a few hours. And then I painted the big trunk. I took Pinecone and a little black to make it a little darker, and then I went ahead and dry brushed onto that tree so you bring out that grain. And voila! I really love how this turned out. I collect kissing figures, and it was a real bummer when this one broke. Well, thanks guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.